Gardens are as unique as the gardeners, and we're visiting Hendersonville, Tennessee today. The homeowners have decided to do all of their gardening in pots. It's wonderful. It's a little bit easier, or is it harder? We'll find out. We're at the home of Bob and Kat Garza, and I need to know your take on gardening. Containers. How did you get this started?
Well, I saw something not too long ago on online, and it's just a small garden. I thought, you know, this would be a lot easier on me. Instead of having to dig up and transplant, I could just move containers around. So that's what got us started.
And so you plant perennials as well as annuals,
Yes.
You were telling me. Let's talk about these containers right here. Love the lamb's ear, one of my favorite things.
I do too.
And then what do you have going on back here? Coleus?
We have coleus and
foxtail fern.
yeah, the foxtail fern. Of course, it will go in this fall. It doesn't do well in our climate here.
And then you have bleeding heart. Looks like
heart,
it's
yeah.
spent.
And it was beautiful this spring, but of course everything has its season. So.
And I noticed that you have ground cover dispersed underneath a lot of these containers.
Yes.
That keeps your weeding down, obviously.
Keeps the weeding down, and it makes it hides the pots just a little bit. I've also noticed it's increased our lizard population, which is great for insects. Because of the ground cover, I have very little weeding to do. So that's another reason I've liked the container gardening. We just don't have that many weeds.
That's smart. And how many pots or containers do you have?
We have 542.
Good Lord. Yeah. I noticed that you had some lilies that were in pots or containers as well. Some of them are blooming. Some of them are about to bloom. I love those.
I do too.
It looks
They're
wonderful.
beautiful.
Yeah.
They are beautiful.
And so I want to note the different levels that you have going on here. It keeps your eye flowing upward towards the back. And I'm sure that was intentional. Whoa, what is that, a fork?
Well, I have a squirrel problem.
Oh, okay.
And that seems to keep them out from digging in the dirt.
Okay, and then what else? Hibiscus?
Hibiscus here. And what you mentioned about the height, that's another reason I love the containers, because if something gets taller than something that's behind it that's short, I can just
pick it up
move
and
them
swap it around.
Dig them out. Yeah.
And you have some yarrow and daisies. And what else do you have in this area?
Of course, more lambs there that we split. We split those every year because they just get so large. But I love the Linton rose. We have Linton rose up there, and all the trailing plants that I'm enjoying.
All right, and then you have a path, several paths, so you can get in to maintain without stepping. Yeah. And what is your favorite ground cover?
Well, I have several that I'm liking, but of course this one was just organic. It came with the property, and it's the Creeping Charlie. And a lot of people don't like it, but for me it's great because I can just it keeps the weeds down, and to me it's a nice backdrop for the containers.
I notice you have uniformity in your containers. I notice most of them are gray or black. Tell me about how that came about.
Well, we had started with different colors, and when we stood back we noticed that the plants weren't the star. We were seeing too much color, so we have replaced them with gray, blacks, or browns, and we've spray painted pots that didn't fit that decor.
And you have some terracotta in here, well.
Yes, those are our annuals, and that way I can spot them and know that they need to go into the greenhouse this fall.
Oh, that's smart. I was noticing that most of your containers have one species or one plant in there. Do you do that on purpose so that it has room to grow and expand?
Yes, I do. There are a few that have multiples, but mostly it's just that one plant in each pot.
I see you even have a nice pretty hydrangea in a pot.
Yep.
And a huge hosta. And what you were saying something was one of your favorites right here.
Well, I love the coral bells.
They're gorgeous.
Yes.
And these are your favorite?
I do. I love the caladiums. They're just beautiful.
And so when you sit on your deck at night, do you in your mind visualize where you're going to move the pots the next day?
Oh, I do. I look there and we say, okay, that one's too tall, that one needs to be moved, and of course I have to use my muscle man over there to move them because I can't always pick them up, but some of them I can.
What kind of fertilizer do you use in your containers?
I use either Miracle-Gro or, well, of course I love to use worm castings.
Is there any special thing that you put in the bottom of the pots prior to planting in the pots?
Yes, I put a piece of screen and then some gravel just to give it more of a
drainage.
Drainage, yeah.
And then do you have a particular potting soil that or do you mix your own, or do you like one?
We buy an organic potting soil with some topsoil, mix it with manure, and of course the worm castings will go in there as well.
And I love the textures and the colors. The silver dispersed in between all of these makes everything just pop.
Yeah.
And then you have what's in the back and the big
It's
tall
a horsetail reed.
horsetail reed. And does that get enough water there?
It does.
Okay.
Well, we also, if you notice, we have
You have
some
a banana trees there, yeah.
Yes, but we also have a garden watering system, so
Okay.
we turn those on in the evening or at
And
morning.
so you have some lavender in the ground here.
Yes.
And tell me about some of your other plantings that you like right here.
Well, I love that. And is it the coral reef? Mm-hmm. That's just beautiful to me. It's just very unique.
And is that this first year, or it looks like it's older
No, that was
than-
last year, and I
okay.
actually, it got really tall, and I cut it back and repotted it.
Okay.
And the one behind it is hopefully going to grow a new one.
And this is a type of jade?
Yes.
Okay. And that obviously, because it's in terracotta, goes in
It goes
in the
yeah,
wintertime.
right.
And how big has that one gotten in the past?
Quite a bit. It was a tiny little thing when I first got it.
And you have some catmint.
Yeah, that's a favorite of mine as well.
Mine as well, yes, because it blooms for a good couple months.
Right.
And then I see a scented geranium. And do you do herbs as well?
I do herbs. I have most of them on the other side of the garden.
Huge old fashioned. What is that?
Well, that's a sedum that's in a large pot, and it was over there before that tree fell, and it dropped a piece that's now in the ground. I just left it, and it grew.
I want to talk about the 5 shrubs here.
Our skip laurels?
Yes. And how did those come to be in this spot? Because I noticed you don't have a lot of shrubs in the other parts with your containers.
Thought this was our fence line, so we put these in and wanted to get some privacy.
But I kind of like how
I do too.
I like how it divides it up.
It's a nice frame.
Yes, yes. And I love your garden art. There's a little bit of everything, and there's a little bit for everyone here. From high-end art to fun art.
Bob and I have always loved art. We love to go to art museums, and so to me, it just adds another funky color and some fun things and eye-catching things to look at.
Well, dimensions pull your eye up.
They do.
So you can enjoy the up views as well.
Right.
I notice a little bit of artistic touches here and there in your saved stumps.
Right.
So you have this one pretty here, and you said it was what kind of a tree?
A cherry tree.
That's
An old
cool.
cherry tree.
That's cool. And then I saw someplace else you had another stump with some succulents planted in it.
Yes, we picked those up. They just washed ashore at the local park.
Nice, nice. And I see you've got some herbs in containers. I
Yes.
see some bay laurel, and I also see some fruit and some eucalyptus.
Yes.
And what else do you have?
Well, we have a lot of herbs, and then we have chives and rosemary, and of course over here we call that our cage. That's to keep the squirrels and varmints out of our tomatoes, peppers, and other herbs. And we have our fig trees here. But Bob and I
Nice.
are avid cooks, so we love to use
Nice,
our herbs.
nice, nice. People often ask me, how do you garden without flowers? Well, you got some good examples here with all the different greens, the shades of hues of green, the chartreuse to the deep green. You have a beautiful water feature for the sound effects. You have a wonderful statue. It's just breathtaking here.
Thank you. This is probably one of my favorite areas because it is just so cool and serene and quiet, and I love the hostas.
Well, I gotta say, when someone tells me they have over 500 containers, I wondered in my head, like, how in the world could that be? How does that look? It looks wonderful. It's actually breathtaking, and whoever
thanks.
said you need to call and get us to come out, they were correct.
Well, thank you.
I want to tell you and Bob, thank you very much for sharing your yard with us and all your container gardening and your enthusiasm to share it with us. Thank you.
Thank you for having.
For inspiring garden tours, growing tips, and garden projects, visit our website at volunteergardener.org or on YouTube at the Volunteer Gardener channel, and like us on Facebook.